called the Inflation Reduction Act. Now, everybody will say it sounds like tax benefits and everything like that, but actually, all the programs result in money in your pocket. So they'll give you things like rebates, they'll give you things like tax credits, even though you don't pay taxes. All kinds of ways they're giving out money this time. They're giving you freer health care, even free health care. They're giving you prescription drugs at big bargain prices now. They're going to pick some drugs. They're going to save you on the limits of how much you pay for prescription drugs and how much you have to pay out of pocket. So after a certain amount, it's like $2,000, you don't have to pay anything, and that hurts seniors a lot. So there's a lot in the healthcare. There's a lot in buying automobiles, particularly if they're electric. You get up to $7,500 on a new car and $4,000 on a used car. That doesn't mean you have to pay taxes. You still get the money. See, they're using it in ways, they use the government what it has that makes sense. Okay, so it doesn't make sense to you because you want cash and do something, and then you do it. Somebody sends you a check. It's all through it's and give out around inflation so much, but it's around global warming, making your house more productive. And actually, the data I've seen so far is that if you use this $14,000 to make, a new air conditioning system, a new roof, a new, washer and dryers, and all these kinds of things you can get money for, you will save on your heating bills and air conditioning bills like $140,000 over like 20 years. $140,000. So that's why they're giving you $14,000 if you use all the stuff that they have that they'll invest with you in. You want to put on solar, okay, that's a thing. See, if you do that, you're going to save a ton of dough, not paying the electric company, right? So it makes sense. So that's why they're doing this. And then if we don't pay the electric company, we don't need fossil fuels, yada, yada, yada. And they hope to cut fossil fuel emissions. They hope that the carbon emissions, whatever they call it, by 40% in the year 2030. That's what this bill is do. Going to cut our emissions by 40%, and not 40% of what it was now. 40% of what it was. That's almost 15 years ago or whatever it is. So it's amazing what it's doing, and they're doing it with $340 billion. And on corporations, it's not really that big of an increase. I them to take something out so they don't get hurt. But that's the name of the game. Got to outlive these suckers. That's what you got to do. Things you get. Okay, so if you're looking for Obamacare, if you were looking for Obamacare on their website now, healthcare.gov, there was subsidies until the end of this year. Then it was going to raise your premiums, maybe 10-20%. I don't know specifically, but it's going to be a big cut. And a lot of people, they said about 3 or 4 million people were going to lose health care because of the incentive they have that was going to phase out at the end of this year. They extended that, I think, for another 3 years. So the healthcare.gov is the best healthcare deal in the country. Everybody's going to say it's cheaper, whatever, but it's going to be cheaper if you don't get coverage. And the greatest thing about Obamacare is that all the preventive stuff is free. So that's what's cool. All these other people that give you, bare bones health coverage, but you want preventive coverage. You want to get, hey, am I doing okay? What's going on? All that stuff is free. And that's what these other things don't do, and they don't cover. You get surprises, and don't forget. If you remember, ask a... I think I'm gonna move out of here. Yeah, I should learn that, because all of a sudden I'll be sitting here. I'm by Abe Lincoln, and I'll be there in a minute. Yeah, I'm by Abe Lincoln, and every time I went away, something will happen, and I think it's all a function of Homeland Security. Homeland Security is the ones who screw up that. the Wi-Fi route, because they got all their other little magic wands in the air or whatever. They'll probably screw something up. It is. But the Biden thing, here's another thing too, in the Biden package. Not only is it going to give you like $14,000 to make your house better, they also is going to create 1.5 million jobs. And they're not just any kind of jobs. These are jobs in future industries, okay? 1.5 million new kind of jobs that are going to create. People who make wind turbines, people who make solar panels, people who make all these things that we're going to need, once to get rid of all this fossil fuel. So that means jobs, that means training, that means free training to get good paying jobs. So this is going back to the industrial age. I mean, how this country got screwed and the middle class got screwed is when we left manufacturing, okay? We left manufacturing and we sent it overseas, and the people making manufacturing, you were making $100,000 a year without a college degree. So a high school diploma got you $100,000 a year in the manufacturing. Those jobs left, okay? So starting in the 60s or so, they slowly, and they're down now to just a fraction of what they were. Well, they're going to be growing. We're looking for not only that, but also high-tech manufacturing. We want to build computer chips here. We can't rely on Taiwan if China invades, then we're screwed in the whole country without having a chip manufacturer. So all these things, and because of the turmoil, politically wise in the world, man, we're just going to be manufacturers again. Remember those days? You're not old enough to. I remember graduating from high school, and the kids who didn't go to college, man, started making a hell of a lot more money than I ever made for a long time. Yeah, and that's what's going on. So that's why you look at these things, you see where the opportunity is for you. It's going to be in the future, not today. You could start looking today for the sources. And one source is, of course, I call this a lot, your career one-stop center. You go there, make an appointment to see what's there, because they're going to know about it first when it comes for you to get money. And they have so much training money now, they can't spend it all. There's too much money. Your local governments, like Career One, don't know how to spend all this money. And this is from the old COVID stuff that's still sitting in, the city, county, state offices, that they're trying to figure how to shovel the money out. So go get your share, okay? And that's important to do, because, man, there's a way to get a leg up. And you get opportunities by doing some effort. You don't get opportunities by sitting and waiting somebody to knock on your door. Opportunities don't knock on your doors. You got to go over and knock on their doors, because these opportunities don't make money from you. If the opportunities make money from you, that means they want to get your money, then they knock on your door. That's why you go to Google, people will knock on your door and say they're going to promise you a great job, and don't worry, and just give me a lot of money. No. If you don't have money, don't do that. If you have money, who cares? You do it. I don't care. But the people don't have money and need that job are the ones that get sucked in to do it because they don't know their alternatives. The alternatives are things like are happening now in Biden's new legislation. I mean, that's $400 billion, man. I wonder, how could you spend more $400 billion to beatings? Thank you. Thank you. Awfully nice. Thank you. I said, you're going to beat inflation by spending money. That's a little funny to me, but it doesn't matter. You gotta make a better life for yourself. So these things, when the government spends money, they're opportunities for you to improve your situation. And don't forget, they're not going to advertise it. They're not going to come to your door and force it down your throat. You're the one that has to get out and start fishing around. You start by contacting your 2 senators and your congressman. Contact all 3. Get on the mailing list of all three of those people, so you know when things happen, when things are going, and you have a friend there, to call. If somebody screws you over at the one stop, you call your elected official and say, hey, they screwed me over doing this. See, that elected official can call the one stop, and they dance, man, because they dance to the politicians. They don't dance to you and me, because you don't pay their bill. The politician pays the bureaucrat's bill by voting their wages. So they want to make the politicians happy. You don't do anything to their paycheck. The politicians decide how much they're going to get. So that's what you got to do. That's why you got to use the system. And using the system is learning where the power is. The power isn't with you or your uncle or somebody like that. The power is with elected officials if it's a government office. They have the power, more power than any lawyer you could hire for $500 an hour. You're a politician who will work for you for free, could do more damage and more help to a government agency that doesn't help you than anybody making $500 an hour from you. First of all, you don't have $500 an hour, so you won't know the difference. Doesn't matter. What's more important is that you have to know you have that option. You have to know that you live in a country where that option is given to you. You have to know that you have to take some initiative to use it. Yeah, the easiest thing for the politician to do is just come and promise you in a TV ad that they're going to make you rich and famous. Shit, they won't. Well, you're going to make yourself rich and famous. You got to use the system to do that. And when it screws up, you go to those people and help you make the wheels turn a little easier, okay? It doesn't work all the time. Nothing works all the time. And that's another thing we all have to realize is that nothing works easy like a salesman try to tell you, oh, just do this and you'll be a millionaire and all that kind of shit. That doesn't happen that way. We like to believe it does. And then the problem is if you believe that, then you get pissed off. It doesn't happen that way and you give up and you can't. So roll up your sleeves, roll up your pants because the water's going to get deep or whatever it is, and be prepared for it. You're going to go out and realize it's not going to be easy. It may be easy, but you get lucky and get easy, and that's a nice problem, right? But if you prepare for hard stuff, then you'll be there, and then you'll keep doing, and you'll figure it out how to get what you need. And a lot of times what happens, you find out what you were trying to get, you thought you need, there was something better. You didn't know about asking for that because you didn't know what's there. And that's why you have to go out and find out what's there. And using what's there, using what's out there, waiting for you, not trying to pretend that you know what in the world is best for you. God, nobody knows because we don't know what the hell's all out there. We're basing it on, we think we know what's out there, so we need that. And that's not right. It can be, but most of the time it won't be. But you dig out, you make it, you whatever, And once you get out there and start looking around, man, that gives you more ideas. Why didn't I think of that? Oh, yeah, that's a better idea than I ever had. Why didn't I do that? Yeah, that's what happens. And you don't get that sitting home, reading, Googling the internet, for stuff. No, you go and talk to people. And that's what's so great about, the sources that we give you are all free sources that legally have to talk to you. You're a client. You don't pay them any money, but you're a taxpayer. And that's why. So nonprofit organization, they have to call you. A business, fuck you, I won't answer the phone. They do that too, but lawfully they can't. So you have a more legitimate right to call every elected official, every government official, or whatever, and ask them a question and ask them for help than you do for any country, any company, or anybody else in the country. And that's a tool that we all have. I mean, this is a third of everything in our economy is government, a third. So by not using it, not learning how to use it, man, you're having a third of everything go by. I mean, it's just, sure, you may get there, do whatever. I mean, I always thought of it like, well, the expressway, I could drive to New York in 4 hours using the expressway. Or I'm not going to use that expressway, man. I'm going to use the back roads, and it'll take me 8 hours. So I'll eventually get there. But shit, there's an expressway there the government built. And it gets me there in half the time. So it's like that. Getting a job, starting a business or whatever. Every business in this, every Fortune 500 company is living off the government. And they figure that out. It's easier for them to to find a law, find a loop or something in the government to get money than it is to get a customer. So that's why they have lobbyists that do that and find more customers on Capitol Hill that will give them a lot more money than a real customer does. And that's too bad, but what the hell. The point is, there are programs there for you too, and the help that's out there for anybody, whether you're a millionaire or not. And I used to, this is how I learned, was helping rich people do this and helping millionaires become billionaires. And that was not fun after a while. They don't even need the goddamn money. There's half this country can't pay a $500 bill if they got it today. They're the people who need money, not people making a couple $100,000 a year. Why are we worrying about them? We got half the United States here that a surprise $500 bill they can't afford. Man, they're the people I think only worrying about it, and that's what I hope we can do. Let's go help. And that's why even us, if we make too much money, we give it back to you. And that's why we're now counting the applications, reviewing and picking out our 60 winners or so. And it's probably take another week or something like that to do it. But we have a new one starting, and you could apply for that. And the deadline is September 4th, and we'll have to give out another 40,000. That's what we do with our profits. We give it back to the people who made it for us, and really it's you. And now what you as a member do more is not only give us money to help people who are members that need the help, but you're helping people. The members help people with the research. The members help people with ideas. The members help people by sharing their experience on how they got the money and what they did and how they got it and where they got it or whatever. And then we also have training. We have training, live video training. There's 2 or 3 live video trainings every week that we have, and that's over on Let's Go Help too. So get over there, sign up for the training, go to events, EVENTS. There's a tab there on Let's Go Help too. You sign up for the meetings. And I think they're Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They change a little, so keep an eye out on that, on the events page. And then don't forget, on both platforms, you ask us, you tell us what you need money. I'm a disabled man, tried to find many things. It's been hard for me. Yes, it is hard, Bruce. What to do? There's a lot of free help. If you can't afford the $20 on Let's Go Help, go to this. Go to letsgohelpfree.com. letsgohelpfree.com. I got about a half a dozen reports there that are all free that will help you. Like the first one there, I think, is the best. It shows you 7 or 8 government offices that you don't even have to have a computer to get the money from. You can call them and they will help you solve financial problems. They're all in different kind of areas. I would call every one of them if I had a disability like that to see, hey, when you call them, you don't say, hey, I want a grant. No, you say, hey, I have a disability, I'm struggling or whatever. Do you have any programs that will help me? Or can you suggest some other programs that may be able to help me? That's what you have to do. And you have to do that a dozen times every day until something happens. There's no shortcut to that. You're trying to find a shortcut in Google, and that's a long cut because you'll get so sidetracked. Bruce called 211. That's not bad. You always start with 211. But if you call 211, they really don't know everything. 211 to me is better after you call. Then you search yourself, say under disabilities. And then when you search 211 under disabilities, you'll find maybe 20, 30 organizations in your area that help people with disabilities. That's what you want to know, because you talk to them that are there to help people. The 211 people is to help you, point you to information. They don't really help people, with specific services or money themselves. They just sort of point you. So you want 211, and then there's also Find Help, FINDHELP.org. And remember, if you don't know the area very well, stay away from anything that is not a .org or a .gov, O-R-G or G-O-V. That's the only people you want to talk to. Okay. The sound stopped. Really? Again? Does anybody hear me yet? Is it again? Yeah, I'm just like right on the side of the White House. So I don't know what kind of stuff is going to. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could hear me? Or yeah, it stopped. Good now. Oh, okay, good. Okay. But yes, I mean, it's a numbers game, getting help, getting anything, getting a job, getting a date, anything you want to do in life. So, but you got to know who to call. And that's what 211 and Find Help is terrific about. You get a listing of 20 people who are in the business to solve your kind of problems. They're the people you want to talk. You want to talk to experts, who know how to solve your problems. The 211 lady just knows she's the expert on what's in the database, not solving your problem. So, and they may or may not be right. Things change. Sort of like Google. All the things I give you are in Google, but you'll never find them, right? So the same thing is too complicated. So that's why you got to get down to another level of persons who help people like you every day. There's who you want to talk to. They know the successes, they know the failures, they know the pit stops, not the lady who answers 211. I mean, not that they're bad, but that's just a one step in the process. You want to talk to people. You want an expert. If you want brain surgery, you don't want to read a Google thing about brain surgery, right? You want talk to somebody who did 100 brain surgeries. Man, that's what it is. And that's where the power is in information. Talking to people who've done this a lot of times. So you know the pitfalls. Otherwise, you have to go through those pitfalls yourself. And that's painful. That's why most people give up. Because it is hard. So you have to know and be able to cut through, have the stamina, the resilience that you're going to fail. Plan for failure. Don't plan for success. Success is easy. But so if you want to join us, we're at letsgohelp.com. If you don't have money to pay for our help, then go to letsgohelpfree.com. So you got letsgohelp.com or letsgohelpfree.com. Okay, so you get a lot of good stuff at Let's Go Help Free. And actually, we have a separate report for every state for people with disabilities. So if you remember, we could give you that. I'm working on trying to get that up on Let's Go Help Free also, but it may take a little bit yet. But we have it ready for members. So thanks for putting up with me. Talk to you soon.